So the first thing I saw in my mind when How Great Is Our God was going, it went to Egypt. And it was so funny because I was just watching maybe a few weeks ago a thing about the Valley of Kings and the pharaohs who were buried there and all of this stuff. So I actually saw coming out of one of those like tunnels or whatever, the desert in the Valley of Kings. And then it made me think, these pharaohs believed that they were actually gods, right? And then it's so funny because Cherita's singing How Great Is Our God, and obviously God is way better than any of them, right? And then I thought about Pharaoh and how Moses was going before Pharaoh and let my people go and all this stuff, and the Israelites. So God was taking me there, right? And this is what he wanted to say. It's about the glory of God being shown in our lives by allowing him to do what he wants to do in our lives, right? So he illustrated this with the Israelites and Pharaoh. After all of that stuff happened, like the plagues and the signs and all of that stuff, every other nation said the God of the Israelites is a great God because of all the stuff that they saw. Did it have anything to do with the Israelites at all? No. It was a sovereign act by God to deliver them, to use Moses to bring them out from Israel, right? And so we should allow God to do what he does. He fights for us. He delivers us. So that was almost an answer to the last worship set where we said, okay, his provision is in the systems. His provision is in our process. And, as we allow him to do things in our lives, yes, but then also God does things sovereignly too. And what he was doing for the Israelites was actually in covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob, with Joseph, because they knew that he had promised them a promised land, and Egypt was not that. So they needed to move on from there. So it didn't have anything to do with the individual Israelites who were the slaves at the time, even though they were praying, God deliver us, God deliver us. But he was acting sovereignly, and he was also acting in covenant with the promises that he had made from those before, right?